Hey everybody, this is David here, aka Chessman, and I'm continuing my series where I go over all the chess openings. Last video, we've been covering the Roy Lopez, and we had covered the Berlin defense. Now we're covering the Morphy defense, and I'll show you what. First off, if you haven't seen any of my videos, first of all, here's the Roy Lopez. It goes e4, e5. Whoops, let me just turn off the analysis. Alright, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop e5. And we've covered the Berlin defense, which is knight to f6. Now we're covering the Morphy defense, which is a6. And I'm really excited about this video because I'm going to show you all the variations that you can play against a6. And there's not many of them, but luckily there's two variations there's four variations. Two of them are almost never been played. But the computer says they're playable. So I'm really excited to show those lines today. So this is going to be great. This is like, I feel like we struck gold. And you're going to want to know these lines because if you're the type that wants to avoid main theory, opening theory, and you think you could beat your opponent if only they didn't have their opening book in their head, then this is the way to do it. So I'm hoping this will start a new fad in the Roy Lopez. So let me show you. Okay. So let me scroll down. First off, if you haven't already and you want to know everything about chess, then pause the video and write all this information down. And then I'll scroll down a little bit more, and then you can write the rest of it down. So pause and then pause again. All right. If you're the type that only wants to know, if you want to know a lot of information but not everything, then I would go till probably 3h6. That's a good middle ground. So everything till there. If you just want to know the best stuff or only one or two lines, then I recommend either just the top one, the Berlin defense, or the Morphy defense. Or if you want to learn something where there's almost no theory yet, then I would consider the Lucena variation, which we're going to cover. I'm excited to go over the Lucena variation because there's basically no opening theory out there, so we're going to be creating it. So again, today we're doing the Morphy defense, and it's probably going to take a few videos to cover it. But okay, let me scroll down. And okay, so this is the Morphy defense. You could copy this. And basically there are four playable moves. There's bishop a4, so let's go a6, the Morphy defense. There's bishop a4, which is the most common way to play. And let me just show you. First off, there's bishop a6, then there's bishop takes c6, which is the exchange variation, and the two unknown lines, the two almost never played lines which are playable, is bishop c4 and bishop e2, and they do not have names. Now let me just show you what I'm talking about on this is 365chess.com, and it's an opening database. And basically you put in the moves and it tells you how often they're played. And yeah, and so basically I typed in e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, and bishop a4 has been played over 100,000 times. Bishop takes c6 has been played over 15,000 times. Bishop c4 has only been played 152 times, and bishop e2 has only been played 12 times. So they're virtually never been played. So this is huge. So that means if you have an understanding on how to play bishop c4 and bishop e2, you're going to have a huge advantage anytime you get this position, which you're almost always going to get in the Roy Lopez because everybody plays a6. So this is time well spent because you are probably going to see this quite a bit. So I'm really excited. Today, it's going to take it's going to take a while to cover bishop a4, and it's going to take a full video to cover bishop takes c6. So today we're going to cover bishop c4 and bishop e2. And I kind of want to do that first, just in case you're the type of person who wants to avoid opening theory. So this is your way to do it, is to learn these two lines. All right. All right. So again, in my other videos, we're going to be covering bishop a4, and then we're going to cover bishop takes c6. But today we're covering bishop c4, and we're covering bishop e2. Okay. So let's just jump right into it. And there's not a lot of fluff in these videos. I pretty much just tell you what the video is about, and then I just give you the information. So, yeah. So first we're covering bishop c4. Bishop c4, there's a few moves, but the 5 best moves that black can play is, from best to worst, is knight f6. That's the best move. And that would give black negative 0.13 advantage, which is almost nothing. So it's almost nothing. The next move is bishop c5. This would give black negative 0.16 advantage, which again is just about almost nothing. The third best move is d6, and this would actually give white the advantage of plus 0.35. The fourth best move, or the fourth playable move, is a b5. This would actually give you a plus 0.05 advantage. So again, almost nothing, but a slight advantage for white. And the fifth most playable move is h6. And this would actually give you a plus 0.74. So over a half pawn advantage. So bishop c4 is totally playable, especially if you know these main lines, which I've created. If you have seen information on these moves before, let me know in the comments. Tell me what book or what video or what website. I think that's all our resources is books, videos, and websites. So yeah, please let me know, because I would love to know. But I think I'm the first, at least the first to do on video. Maybe there's a book out there somewheres, but I haven't found it. So let's go over the first main line. Again, the first main line against bishop c4 is if black plays knight f6. So these are the best moves from both sides. If this is what you should play, whether you're playing white or black. So the best move to play is d4, and then black takes d4, and you go castles. Then knight takes c4 is the best. Then you go rook e1. Then d5. Bishop takes d5. Queen takes d5. Knight c3. Queen d8. Rook takes e4 check. Bishop e7. And knight takes d4. So this looks pretty good to me. You got your 2 knights out, you got your rook out, your bishop will probably be coming out, you're castled. So this is, again, a totally playable position. And you avoided all kinds of theory. And this is the best. If black plays knight f6, which is the best move they can play, this is what you'll get if they play the best moves. Most likely they won't. Most likely you'll play the best moves and your opponent won't. So, all right. So that's if they play knight f6. All right. So the second best move they can play is bishop c5. If they play bishop c5, the best you can do is you can play d3. Then they should play knight f6. Then you should play a4. They should castle. You should play knight b to d2. They should play d6. You should play c3. They should play knight h5. You should play knight b3. They should play bishop a7. You should castle. They should play bishop d7. You should play bishop e3. They should play queen f6. And you should play queen d2. So again, all your pieces are developed, your king's castled, and it's an equal position. Black has a slight advantage according to the engine, negative 0.16. But again, that's nothing. Everything now you have to figure out what to do in the middle game and the end game. But you should at this point have a significant time advantage because you knew what the moves were. Your opponent probably won't. If they play the best moves, it probably took some time off their clock. All right, so that's the second best move, bishop c5. All right, the third best move they can play is d6. If they play d6, you should play d4. They'll play e takes d4, then knight takes d4, knight takes d4, queen takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, bishop e7, a4, bishop e6, a5, bishop takes c4, queen takes c4. These are the best moves that you can play from both sides. So if your opponent plays the best moves, this is what you'll get. And again, it's totally fine. You're going to castle, you're going to develop your bishop. You have a space advantage with a5 here. So you actually have an advantage of 0.35. So if they don't play the two best moves, you automatically have an advantage if they play the best moves after that. All right. So that's if they play the third best move. If they play the fourth best move, which is b5, then you're going to play bishop d5. Then they should play knight g to e7. Then you should castle. Then knight takes d5. Then e takes d5. Knight b4, which I think is a hard move to find. So they probably won't even play that. But after knight b4, you should play knight takes e5. Then bishop d6. Knight to g4. Castles. Knight to e3. c6. And knight c3. So this is what you'll get if you play the best. This is pretty much an equal position, plus 0.05 for white. So very slight advantage. But yeah, I mean, the question is what to do from here. Not sure. Put your rook out, develop your bishop, maybe chase the knight away. Your opponent does have the two bishops. That's the only downside. But the computer says you have the advantage, a slight advantage. All right. So that's if they play b5. Now the fifth best move they could play is h6. And this would actually give you about plus 0.74 advantage. If you both play the best moves. Most likely again they won't. So from here you should play d4. Then they should play e takes d4. You should play knight takes d4. Then knight e5 is the best move. Then bishop e2. And bishop b4 check. Bishop d2. Bishop c5. Knight f5. g6. Bishop e3. G takes f5. Bishop takes c5, and f takes e4. And believe it or not, even though white's down a pawn, the computer says white has a 0.74 advantage. So this is best play if your opponent plays the fifth best move. And yeah, you'll get your knight out, you'll castle. And you got to figure out what to do in the middle game. But that's the problem you got to do in every chess game. But the point is, you avoided all opening theory. You're the only one coming in with theory. These 5 lines that you can learn, if you learn that and you analyze your games after playing this opening, then you're going to be the only one that has opening theory. And that's beautiful. I'm surprised no one else has thought of playing this move. I'm really surprised. Like it's been played, I think it said 150 times. So yeah. All right. So that's if you play bishop c4. Now the alternative to that you can play, the second the fourth best move, but the second unknown move you can play besides bishop c4 is bishop e2. And again, if you look, this has only been played 12 times. So virtually never been played. And yet the computer says it's totally playable. And again, I got 5 more lines for you that if you want to take up bishop e2, you can. And go into it being the only one in the game to have opening theory, and your opponent is just guessing. They're probably going to play moves similar to what they're used to, hoping that it works out, but you're going to be playing the best moves. All right. So there's 5 moves. There's the 5 best moves that black could play from here is d5, knight f6, bishop d6, knight g to e7, and bishop e7. All right. So if black plays the best move, then they're going to go d5, and this will give black about a negative 0.22 advantage, again, which is just about nothing. All right. So if they go d5, you should go e takes d5, then they'll go queen takes d5. You'll play knight c3 attacking the queen. They'll go. The best move for them is queen d6. Then you should castle. They should play bishop e6. You should play b4. And your opponent should play knight f6. You should then play b5. They should play knight to d4. You should take the pawn, bishop takes a6. They should take back, bishop takes a6. You should go rook e1, and they should go e4. So this is an interesting position. So, but it's pretty much an even game. So I totally doubt that your opponent's going to play these moves. So you should get an even better position. But if they play the best, this is what will happen. All right, so that's if they play d5. The second best move they could, or maybe it's the best move actually, because the computer scores it a negative 0.33. So I think the computer changes its mind which one's the best move. It was d5, now it's knight f6. So the 2 best moves is d5 and then knight f6. So we went over d5. Now if they play knight f6, what you should play is knight c3. They should play d5, and you should play e takes d5, knight takes d5, castles, knight takes c3, b takes c3, e4, knight e1, bishop e6, d4, queen d5, g3. Again, kind of a crazy position. It's weird that your knight's on e1. I'm not going to lie, this looks like it'll take some practice to play. You do have an open file to work with. You do have to worry about this pawn, though. You might have to push it first. A couple squares. Yeah, this would take some practice, but it's playable. And again, this is only if your opponent knows the theory and plays the best moves. And again, they're not going to know the theory. This, like I said, this move, bishop e2, has only been seen 12 times. So you're going to get a huge advantage. So that's if they play the first/second best move, knight d5 or knight f6. The third best move is bishop d6, which is very unusual. I doubt people are going to want to cramp in their d7 pawn. So they probably won't play this. But if they do, If they're using a computer, then they'll find it, but most likely they won't be. But if they do play it, you should play castles. And by the way, if they do play this move, this will actually give you a plus 0.28 advantage. So still not much, but it's, again, totally playable. And again, the point is we're trying to get your opponent out of opening theory and them guessing their moves or trying to figure it out while using precious time on the clock. All right, so if they play bishop d6, we castle. Then they should play knight f6. That's the best move. You should play d3. They should castle. You should play bishop e3. You should play knight g4. You should play bishop g5. And bishop e7. Bishop takes e7. Queen takes e7. Knight c3. Rook e8. Knight d5. And queen d8. Now this looks more like it. You got an active knight in the center. And yeah, this looks totally fine for white. I can definitely see why it's a plus 0.28 advantage for white. And this is if your opponent plays the best moves. So you're going to have a huge advantage. Again, you should have the practice of studying your games after you're done playing them. That way you can add to your opening repertoire and add to your experience and knowledge. That's what you should be doing. Oops. All right. So we just went over bishop d6, the fourth best move. So again, this shows there's just not a lot of good moves to be played in this position. So you're going to have a huge advantage because your opponent just isn't going to know what to play. They're going to guess. They'll probably be playing knight f6. That's probably a common move. That's probably most likely what you'll see because that's the most obvious move. But that's it. And it's pretty much an equal position even if they play the best, which they won't. So the fourth best move is knight g to e7. This gives you a plus 0.37 advantage. So if they play this move, you should play the best move, which is d4. They should play d5. You should play e takes d5. Knight takes d4. Knight takes d4. E takes d4. Castles. Queen takes d5. Bishop f3. Queen d6. Rook e1. Queen b6. And knight d2. So it just looks like a normal position. It's weird the queen's out, but not really. It's weird that this knight is blocking in this bishop. And it can't move because the rook's pinning the knight. So practically speaking, this looks definitely better for white, I would say. I can see why it's a plus 0.37 advantage. So that's if they play knight g to e7. And the fifth best move they can play is bishop e7. And if they play bishop e7, this will give you a plus 0.28 advantage, about. It does fluctuate, but that's about what the advantage you get is about a quarter of a pawn. So if they play bishop e7, the best move is to play knight c3, just develop the knight. They should play knight f6. You should play d4. They should play e takes d4, knight takes d4, d5, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, e takes d5, queen takes d5, bishop f3, queen a5 check, and bishop d2. So your pieces are active, you're about to castle, just a normal position. You're probably you might take that knight since your knight's undefended. Or maybe you attack the queen. Again, even though the queen has to move already, so yeah, but you have two bishops. You both have two bishops. So there's still plenty of play in the game. And who knows, maybe you'll castle queenside. Black could too. Develop the bishop, castle queenside. So there's a lot of options. And again, this is if your opponent plays the best moves, which they won't. Unless it's a classical game, then maybe they will, but I doubt it. Alright, so again, I gave you... So again, just to reiterate, there are 4 options to play when you're at this position, the Morphy defense. There's bishop a4, which is the best move, quotes, the best move. But strategically, it may not be the best move because, again, your opponent's going to know so much theory at a certain level, and you're going to have to know that theory as well. Otherwise, they're just going to get you out of the open. They're going to get you in the open. They're going to win through the opening every time. The other option is bishop takes c6. That may be the way to go if you want to take a path that is for sure good. Then you could do that. It's only been played 15,000 times versus 100,000 times. So maybe that's your option you want to do, is you want to do an opening that's well known but not played very often. Then maybe that's the way to go. But if you want to avoid having to memorize too much theory, then your best moves is either bishop c4 or bishop e2. So I gave you 5 lines in each move. So if I were you, I'd pause it and write it down, or type it down, and do the same here. So next video, I'm probably gonna see bishop a4 is the Columbus variation is gonna take a long time to cover because there's so many variations. There's so many, there's so much theory to know, and I do want to cover all of it if I can possibly do it. I don't know if it's going to take 5 videos, 20 videos. I'm really not sure. So I'm going to save that for last. So I'm probably going to cover the exchange variation since I probably can do that in one video. So that's probably what I'm going to do next. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I'm exploring. I'm every once in a while finding some gold like bishop c4 and bishop e2. I really hope some of you are brave enough to try these new lines and work at it, because if you do it, you're going to have a secret weapon that your opponent's just not going to be ready for. And it's probably going to work for you for at least the next 20 years. Because unless it becomes popular and then grandmasters study it, and then all of a sudden there's opening theory about it, unless that happens, these are going to stay surprises as surprise weapons. And you're probably going to get a lot of advantages in your games. So I was real excited for this video. I'm kind of upset it's over. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Again, look at this. I have so many openings to cover just in the Roy Lopez. It's kind of daunting and exciting. It's both. So I just wish it wouldn't take so long. I wish it wouldn't take so long. I wish I could do this a lot faster, but it takes time. It takes time to get the information and to put it into format where you can record it, copy it yourself. And it's difficult figuring out how to put it into separate videos. And I'm trying to put it in the correct order, and it's like I have a big mess, and I'm trying to figure out how to get order. And there's probably more qualified people than me that should be doing this, but for some reason they're not doing it. So I have to do it, and then once I make a big statement, then some grandmasters will get involved and be like, all right, let's help this kid out. All right, and that's what I'm hoping will happen. So hopefully a bunch of you start playing this and just be like, you know what, I don't want to know opening theory. Let's just have a game of chess where nobody knows what they're doing, and it'll be a fair game. So I hope you have a lot of fun. I hope more of videos like these will come about, and I hope you stay tuned, subscribe. Yeah. So I hope you have a great one and enjoy your day.